The coming wave. Have you ever wondered what the next big SaaS opportunity in finance will be? Not just another payment app, not just another trading bot, but something deeper. Something every financial institution on the planet will be forced to adopt. The answer is compliance, and specifically AI-powered compliance tools. Today, we're going to break down why compliance is becoming the hottest SaaS opportunity, how AI is transforming the way financial companies deal with regulations, and why this could easily turn into a billion-dollar wave. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand exactly what a compliance is, who needs it, how the business model works, and where the next unicorn startups will be built. Chapter 1. Why compliance is a monster problem in the world of finance. Compliance isn't optional. Every bank, every fintech startup, every payment processor is under constant pressure from regulators. Whether it's anti-money laundering, AML, Know Your Customer, KYC, fraud detection, GDPR, or new AI-specific laws, the rules keep piling up. But here's the painful truth. Compliance is expensive. Big banks spend billions every year on compliance departments. Small fintech startups drown under the weight of regulations before they even get profitable. For example, JP Morgan reportedly spends more than $10 billion annually just on compliance and risk management. And yet, even with massive teams, errors still happen, fines still pile up, trust still gets broken. This is the monster problem that AI is about to solve. Chapter 2. The old way versus the AI way. Traditionally, compliance has been manual. Endless spreadsheets, legal teams reviewing documents, analysts flagging suspicious transactions one by one. Slow, boring, error-prone. Now imagine replacing that with AI, an AI that reads thousands of contracts in seconds. A machine learning model that spots fraud patterns before a human even notices. And an agent that monitors transactions 24/7 and flags unusual activity instantly. This isn't science fiction, it's already happening. Fintech companies are quietly adopting AI compliance tools, and regulators themselves are starting to use AI for oversight. The shift is real, and it's massive. Chapter 3. Why SaaS is the perfect model. Why is SaaS the model for AI compliance? Simple, recurring revenue, scalability, and mandatory adoption. Banks don't just try compliance once, they need it forever. Every new regulation creates more demand. That means once a SaaS compliance tool lands a customer, the churn is extremely low. Imagine building an AI compliance SaaS where every customer pays $5,000 per month. Land 100 customers and you at $500,000 MRR. Scale to 1,000 customers worldwide and you running a $60 million a year SaaS business. And remember, in finance, budgets for compliance are huge. Even small startups are willing to pay if it means avoiding million-dollar fines. Chapter 4. Types of AI compliance tools emerging. Let's break down the categories of compliance SaaS tools that are blowing up. AML and fraud detection. App bundles that monitor transactions in real time and detect unusual activity patterns. KYC automation. Tools that use computer vision and NLP to verify identities, scan documents, and detect fake profiles. Regulatory intelligence. Agents that read and summarize new laws and instantly map them to company operations. Audit and reporting bots. Tools that auto-generate compliance reports, saving thousands of hours of manual work. GDPR and data privacy monitors. SaaS platforms that track data use, consent management, and privacy risks. AI risk management. New category where AI monitors making sure algorithms stay ethical and legally compliant. Each of these categories is not just a feature, each one could be a billion-dollar startup on its own. Chapter 5. Real-world examples. This isn't just theory. Let's talk about what's already happening. Comply Advantage raised over $100 million to use Avor AML and fraud detection. Trulio, a KYC AI tool that helps companies onboard users across 195 countries. Ajasti uses machine learning to detect money laundering rings hidden inside complex transaction networks. Zigzag, SaaS platform for automated identity verification and compliance. These startups are growing fast because compliance is not optional, and their customers can't afford to ignore them. Chapter 6, the regulatory tailwind. Here's the ironic twist: regulations, which normally kill startups, are actually fueling this SaaS boom. Every time a government passes a new law, GDPR, PSD2, MiCA, crypto regulation, Act, creates new demand for compliance tools. This is what we call a regulatory tailwind. In fact, in 2025, the EWA Act will require companies to prove their systems are safe and compliant. Guess who will provide the tools to do that? SaaS compliance platforms. So instead of fighting against regulation, these startups ride the wave. More rules equal more customers. Chapter 7, the AI Advantage, why is so disruptive in compliance compared to old software. Scale, a can analyze millions of transactions per second. Adaptability, machine learning can detect new fraud patterns humans don't even know exist yet. Cost savings, replace armies of compliance analysts with one AI-powered Aki subscription. Speed, compliance checks that took weeks can now be done instantly. This ISIN time incremental improvement. It is a complete revolution in how compliance is handled. Chapter 8, the challenges ahead, of course. It's not all smooth sailing. Compliance faces challenges too. Trust. Financial institutions must trust that the AI is accurate. Bias and errors. If it flags the wrong people, lawsuits can follow. Regulator skepticism. Governments may demand transparency on how AI models make decisions. Competition. Big players like IBM, Microsoft, and Google are also entering this space. But here's the catch. The problem is so big and demand is so massive that there's room for dozens of winners. Chapter 9, the SaaS founder opportunity. Now let's talk about you. If you're a SaaS founder, this is one of the biggest opportunities of the decade. You don't need to build the next PayPal. You can reach down. Example, build a compliance tool just for crypto exchanges, or a GDPR automation tool just for SaaS startups, or an iAudit bot for banks using generative AI. The niches are endless, and each niche is growing as regulations expand. The playbook is simple. Identify a regulation that causes headaches. Build an AI tool that automates compliance. Offer it as SaaS. Charge monthly and scale globally. Chapter 10, the billion-dollar vision. So where does this all go? In the next 5 years, compliance will not be a cost center. It will become an ad-driven competitive advantage. Banks with better compliance will onboard customers faster, detect fraud earlier, and avoid billion-dollar fines. Startups with automated compliance will scale globally without hitting regulatory walls. And the companies providing these tools, they will be the next giants of SaaS. Just like Salesforce defined CRM and HubSpot defined inbound marketing, the next decade will see an agents worth hundreds of billions. The next SaaS wave. So here's the truth. The next big SaaS wave in finance is not trading, not lending, not payments. It's compliance. AI compliance tools are mandatory, recurring, scalable, and growing faster than anyone realizes. For founders, this is the perfect storm. Massive pain point, huge budgets, regulatory tailwinds, and an AI technology finally ready to deliver. The question is, will you watch this wave or will you build on it? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Would you consider building an AI compliant SaaS? I'd love to hear your thoughts.